Hello boys and girls, welcome to another lesson. We are going to do a maths lesson today. Now I want you to, if you've ever been to the market with your mommy, or sometimes your mommy goes to buy some tomatoes, say some tomatoes or some melons, or baygon, she has to take it up and the seller or the vendor will put it on a scale and he weighs it, and that is what he's trying to find out, how much it weighs, because depending on how much it weighs, he would know how much money mommy has to pay for it. And that is what we are going to do in today's lesson. We are going to talk about weight. Not weight like when I say stop, but weight meaning how heavy or how light something is. So we are looking at, when we are speaking of weight, we are talking about how heavy or how light. Now sometimes you use a scale to measure weight. When you are a baby and mommy takes you to the health center, they would put you on a scale to measure how much you weighed, to know if you are getting the right food and if you are growing as you should. When we go to the doctor, sometimes the doctor makes us go up on the scale to check our weight. So we look at weight in terms of person's weight, in terms of weight when we buy vegetables or when we weigh things. Alright? But sometimes we can gather how heavy or how light something is by just feeling it. Here I have a potato. Yes, I have lots of things on my table here to talk about weight. So if I were to take this potato and I have a banana as well. So I am taking these two things in my hand and I'm trying to gather which one has more weight. Yes, so we are looking at hefting. Hefting means I can hold it in my hands and try to ascertain if it's heavy or light. So right now I am feeling that this potato is carrying my hand down a little more than the banana. So when I heft it, I can say that the potato is heavier than the banana. Alright, so let's zoom in here on some things that we have. Look at things Miss has here. Miss has a brick. Miss has a feather. Miss has a tea bag. Miss has a banana, a pineapple, a pumpkin or a squash. We have the potato, a cherry, a sponge, a tomato, and a lime. So, and then we have a balloon as well. Now, we can ascertain if something is heavy because it is harder to lift. If it's heavy, then it's harder to lift. If we can lift it very easily, that means it's light. Alright, so let's look at some things that's heavy and something that's light here. So, let's take the squash or the pumpkin. I cannot lift this as easily. So this here is heavy. But I can lift this cherry very easily because it's light. The same goes for the feather. I can lift it with one finger like this. And I can, because it's light. And the simile could be as light as a feather. Okay, so the feather is light. And look at there. Yes, this balloon I can lift it and I can play with it because it's light. But the pineapple, I can't just raise it or lift it with one finger. I have to use both my arms and I have to lift it off like this because it's a bit heavier. So it's heavy. I can lift the banana very easily. Why? Because it's light. I have here a tea bag. And yes, this tea bag is light. It does not weigh much. The weight of it is light. But look at this here. Oh my, can I try lifting this? Do you think it will be easy to lift? Oh, I won't even attempt because it's very heavy. So this brick here is very heavy. And look at this here, my sponge. Can I lift the brick and throw it up like this? No, but I can do it with the sponge. Why am I able to do it with the sponge? Because it's very light, yes. So let's look. I have here my tomato and my potato. I am hefting. Which one is the light one between the potato and the tomato? Yes, the tomato is very light. It's lighter than the potato. If I were to use the tea bag and the banana, I am hefting it and I am feeling the weight in my hands. And this feels heavier than the tea bag. So this is heavier than the tea bag. The banana is heavy and the tea bag is lighter. Alright? Then we have the lime and the pineapple. Obviously, you know which is the heavy one here. Which is the heavy one? Yes, the pineapple. So let me just put it down there. This. So we have the balloon and the pumpkin or the squash. Okay, I wouldn't even attempt to lift it. I'll just put the balloon next to it. So if we have the squash and the balloon, which is the light one? Yes, the balloon is light. That means the squash or the pumpkin is heavy. It's harder to lift, so it's heavy. And we have here the feather and the brick. Obviously, the brick is heavy and the feather is light. So we looked at weight, and weight we said means how heavy or how light. And we can look at some things that's heavy on my table here. The brick is heavy. The pineapple is heavy. The squash or the pumpkin is heavy. The lighter things would be like the cherry, the tea bag, the feather, the sponge, the balloon. And if we are looking at things in terms of these two or these, they are not as heavy. This is heavier than the tomato. The potato is heavier than the tomato. The potato is heavier than the tea bag. The potato is heavier than the cherry. But if we were to look at the tomato and the cherry, which is the lighter one here? Yes, the cherry is lighter than the tomato. Alright? So we have looked at weight and we looked at heavy things, lighter things. And in your book, you're going to get to draw some things that are heavy and some things that are light. But I want you to remember for today's class, we did weight. And weight is a term of measure to measure how heavy or how light something is. So you'll have some fun drawing the heavy stuff and the light stuff. All right, boys and girls? Bye.